Tonight, one person is dead and two others rescued after a water emergency in Duluth. We have the latest from authorities.
Plus, rivers are rising and flooding is in effect. We'll take you to northwestern Wisconsin, where locals are worried about the rain continuing.
And after an incident last April, the Duluth School District is making plans to upgrade its security.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. We're learning tonight one man has died after a boat capsized on Lake Superior earlier today.
Two others were sent overboard. They are accounted for and uninjured. It all happened just before noon today on the lake side of Minnesota Point, not far from Sky Harbor Airport.
CBS 3's John Cardinelli is following the situation. He's out there live for us tonight. John, what can you tell us?
Tony, within the last half hour, we've learned some new information in regards to this incident. We learned that the three men were aboard a 21-foot-long aluminum-hulled boat around 11 a.m. today. Now, two of those men were saved after the boat capsized by some nearby mariners. A third later washed up on shore and pronounced dead. We learned that the man who died was Donald James Sarter of Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. Authorities say the 68-year-old was driving the boat when the waves crashed over it. According to the sheriff's office, two of the men were able to swim to shore. Duluth firefighters located Sarter's body in shallow waters off the end of Park Point near Sky Harbor Airport. Sarter was pronounced dead at the scene. The other two men, one from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and the other from New Franken, Wisconsin, walked away with no injuries. Now, it was reported that all three men were wearing life jackets. However, those jackets were reported not to be fastened in the front. This is an ongoing investigation with the St. Louis County Sheriff's Office.
All right, and John, we're also hearing that officials issued a warning today for anyone thinking about being out or near the water. Is that right?
Yes, Kristen, that is correct. The National Weather Service did issue a small craft advisory, and that would apply to the type of boat that capsized earlier today.
All right, this is a developing story. We'll bring you any new information as it becomes available. John Cardinelli in Park Point for us tonight. Thanks, John.
We're going to turn over to the weather now with meteorologist Dave Anderson. Dave, a lot of rain out there today. Man, was it wet.
Yeah, head of the lakes got the worst of it. 1 to 2, even 2.5 inches for a lot of towns, and there are still some warnings out there to talk about. So let's get into them. Number 1, a flood warning stretching from southern Aiken County through northern Pine, southern Carleton, and the western parts of Douglas County. That could stay in effect through about this time tomorrow, thanks to those heavy rains and some washed out roads that have happened. And like John mentioned, there's a small craft advisory for the shoreline of Lake Superior tonight, and for Park Point and Wisconsin Point. National Weather Service has issued one of their beach hazard statements saying, don't swim. Rip currents are very likely. And we're on the eve of October. Who'd be swimming this time? You know, some people are hardcore, but take it easy. Be very careful. Here's a look at the low pressure system that's working through our area. It was the warm front that brought the heavy rain here earlier today. And if that cold front comes our way tonight, we could get another round of heavy rain. That's why folks are under the gun, especially around the head of the lakes, for more flooding troubles. Our day planner for tomorrow, though, shows things should start to calm down, if not clear up. On the Minnesota side of the border, should be mostly cloudy all day. Highs as warm as 56, which is a bit cooler than normal. And in Wisconsin and Michigan, a morning chance for rain, followed by at least a little bit of dryness in the afternoon, but maybe not for long. By Wednesday, the rain could return, Anthony and Kristen. We'll talk about for how long coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Dave. Well, speaking of the weather in Wisconsin, a warning from Superior Mayor Jim Payne as the rains are causing the Nemadji River to rise. According to the National Weather Service, the river has risen from about 6 feet this morning to 19 feet this evening. In a Facebook post, Payne said they are seriously worrying about impacts to Woodland Road and Highway 2 in Superior, which flooded last year. He added the river is likely to crest sometime Tuesday morning, so if you use either of these roads regularly, please plan for an alternative route for the next 24 hours or so. And in some areas, those heavy rains brought flash flooding to many areas throughout the region today. One of the harder hit areas is Foxborough, Wisconsin.
The city is about 30 miles southwest of Duluth, near Pattison State Park. That area saw about 5 inches of rainfall just this morning, leading to several washouts and flooded roadways. However, one particular family has a different kind of problem. CBS 3's Caitlin Moffett spent the day in Foxborough and brings us the story.
Well, as you can see now here behind me, things don't look quite as bad as they did just a few hours ago. We had water about knee height. Now, this is not the first time that the Strum family has dealt with quite a bit of water. Let's take a look. The Strums own a dog, a few chickens, and now a sort of lake. The family says Monday's rain isn't their first time dealing with a large amount of water, but each time it comes at a cost.
Well, every time it happens, it gets expensive because we have to have our septic pumped because it fills up. So that's $135 every time this happens.
They've earned themselves a nickname around town.
We're known as the house around here that floods by the locals.
In some cases, having a private lake may sound comforting, when in reality, a full septic tank keeps you from doing everyday tasks.
It's like I would be, mopping my floor and doing laundry and running the dishwasher and all those things that a mom does.
But they don't always look at the glass or yard half full.
I think it was last year or 2 years ago, I took my kid's kayak and floated around the yard, but that's about it.
They have tried improving their drainage system for the yard, but to no avail.
So there's a culvert under the driveway, but the culvert was very small, only like this big, and so we put in a larger one.
Eventually the water will recede, but for now, at least one of the Strums are living their best life. The Strum family was able to see both sides, though, of a tough situation. As for the impacted areas, crews have been out today on the roads fixing up all of the washed out roadways. And remember, do not drive through flooded roadways. And if you come across one, please turn around and avoid it.
Thanks, Caitlin. Meanwhile, Duluth police arrested a woman in connection with a deadly shooting, has now been formally charged. According to court documents, 29-year-old Amber Rose Forrest was in a relationship with James Peterson. She's been charged with aiding an offender. Peterson and Christopher Botter face aiding and abetting second-degree murder charges in the shooting death of Tim Nelson. It happened Sunday, September 22nd on Duluth's west side. Officers found Nelson in a car with a gunshot wound to his stomach. He died from his injury. According to the documents, on the night he was shot, Nelson threatened one of the suspects with a BB gun. When officers searched the suspect's home, they saw the BB gun. Documents show Forrest asked to go in the apartment to get some things, but was told she could not. When officers went back later to collect the gun as evidence, it was gone. Court documents show Forrest admitted to breaking into the apartment to take the gun and was reportedly trying to sell it. Court records also indicate police found messages on Forrest's phone which said Botter was allegedly the suspect who pulled the trigger in Nelson's death. The charge of aiding an offender is a felony.
Duluth Public Schools will see a major upgrade in security. It's all thanks to more than $600,000 in grant money.
Yeah, district officials say the changes will make it harder for visitors to get into school buildings. CBS3's Gamiel Hall met with school officials today to find out why such measures are being taken. Gamiel.
Tony, Assistant Superintendent Jeff Horton tells me an incident at Duluth East last April played a role in these changes. You'll remember Travis Bush was found inside the school after making violent threats online, but school officials say they applied for these grants months before that even happened, based on requests from the community. Those grants include more than $500,000 from the state and $150,000 locally, which together will be dispersed throughout all Duluth public schools. Now, if you were to visit one of these schools today, you would enter through the front doors, sign in at the school office, and you're in. But under these new security measures, visitors will need to get buzzed in through two separate set of doors before entering the school. The district's facilities management team is currently in the process of implementing voice and video devices to help staff determine whether or not to let a person in.
School safety is a higher priority, and we're always trying to balance that with that safe and welcoming side. We want to bring the community in. We want people to feel good when they come into school. But at the same time, unfortunately, there's really sad things that are happening out there, and we have to make sure we're protecting our kids and our staff.
Front entrance upgrades are completed. All other doors will be kept locked during school hours as they are now. Now, Horton expects the new protocol to come into play sometime this school year.
Thanks, Gamiel. The Husky refinery in Superior will soon start to rebuild. Officials say the company received the required permit approvals to begin reconstruction after an explosion and fire in April of 2018. put them out of service. Work is expected to begin immediately. The refinery will also continue the use of the controversial chemical hydrogen fluoride, which has sparked conversation among community members and lawmakers. The rebuild will take place over the next 2 years, with the refinery expected to return to full operations in 2021. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, as it continues to grow in popularity and products, CBD is still not regulated on the federal level. So what's in it? We're taking a closer look next.
Heavy rain affected many towns today, including Duluth, with just a hair under a full inch. 99 hundredths. How did the rest of the region fare and what's coming tonight? Well, a little bit more rain, that's for sure. And then we'll talk more about that and what's to follow in just a few more minutes.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3.
Alexa, turn on the house lights.
Now, during SUV season, get over $6,000 total savings or lease an Escape for just $249 a month, only at your Northland Ford dealers.
Make mom or grandma's jewelry new again at Numi Jewelers.
Come to our remount show Thursday, October 3rd.
Bring an old ring, pendant, or earrings and design a new piece you will love. True love is guaranteed at Numi Jewelers.
Hi, I'm Jesse Conan, family doctor at St. Luke's Medical Arts Clinic. Located downtown Duluth, the Medical Arts Clinic is really convenient and accessible for patients who live or work downtown. I really like to check in with kids and find out what their interests are and make sure that physical activity is a part of their everyday life. Sometimes the best medicine is not necessarily choosing which pill to take, but helping patients understand that their everyday choices, such as which food they eat and how physically active they are, is incredibly important in determining their health.
The saying goes, when one door closes, another opens. So what are you waiting for? Open the door to memories ready to be unpacked. Grow your family one step or paw at a time. Kick off the next great adventure. Turn your passions into your business. We're here to help open the door to new possibilities. Superior Choice Credit Union. This is our currency. Visit superiorchoice.com for a branch near you.
We decided to have Meet the Cooks Day at GB Schneider's.
How's it going, guys?
Anything else I can do for you guys?
Just keep cooking for us.
All right, I guess I'll go back there and do that.
Customers love coming to GB Schneider's.
Itasca has a really good reputation because it is the best place to start. The teachers really connect you on a different level, and I think that that is something very important. The teachers do a really good job of not just making it some boring sit-down, take notes type of thing. They have lots of different ways to help you learn because they know that people don't learn just one way. They found ways to find applicable things to what we're learning to the outside world. That's made it super fun. So when people ask me how my day was, every single day was great.
New tonight, there's a bully in the neighborhood.
Every man has his breaking point.
Yeah, I disagree. And
look at there, I just reached mine.
Then
we have 28 minutes.
Sounds like speed dating.
This is not a date.
Okay, 27 minutes.
A new Bob Hearts have a show after a new The Neighborhood. CBS tonight.
Is she a tech genius or a fraud?
The jury knows you're willing to make things up to get what you want.
Game over. New Bull, CBS tonight.
Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Since we last spoke, and there have been a couple of updates on the severe weather front here. A new advisory popping up in northern parts of Aiken County through the floodwood area in St. Louis County. Yeah, a flood advisory there in effect perhaps through tomorrow morning. Folks in that neck of the woods should drive cautiously overnight. And we're still looking at that flood warning in effect from southern Aiken County through parts of Pine County, Carleton County, and Douglas County. That could last until 5:30 tomorrow night. So again, some roads have been washed out. Watch for flooding on the roadways there. But on a brighter note, the small craft advisory for Lake Superior has been lifted, though the red flag warning does continue for the beaches of Park Point and Minnesota Point. So not a great night to get out and swim here tonight. And with October looming tomorrow, the point is probably moot. The season is probably past. Well, let's talk about how much rain came today. Big soaking low pressure systems, warm front working through the area, brought almost an inch to the Hibbing region, and now 1.01 inches for Duluth up over the hill, 2.5 inches at Solon Springs Airport, a hair over an inch for Hayward, and a little bit more than 2 inches in Ashland, an inch and a half or so towards Ironwood. If the cold front portion of the low comes our way tonight, we could have a chance for soaking rain coming back again, so please drive cautiously as the night goes on. Hopefully things improve by tomorrow afternoon. Right now at the airport in Duluth, 59, relative humidity 90%, so we may have to throw some fog troubles into the mix as well come tomorrow morning for the commute. Doppler map right now shows things on the calmer side in between fronts here for the time being, though there is a line of more vigorous storms indeed starting to perk up here through northern Aiken County in towards the floodwood area. That's why that flood advisory has popped up for that neck of the woods. Keep in mind that rain potentially could be on the heavy side here as time goes on, as this low pressure system's cold front tries to go through the area tonight. There's a chance it could go to the southeast and we'll miss it, but if it goes to the northeast like they tend to do, that's when we'll run into the troubles. So again, grin and bear it and buckle down here through tomorrow afternoon. Then we'll get a brief break before rain could return as early as Wednesday. And there is still a slight chance for some snow showers around our region Thursday morning as cooler air filters in with this line of low pressure systems that'll keep us wetter more than drier here over the week ahead. Forecast here for tonight says in Minnesota, rain is likely, but it should be of the gentler variety, hopefully. Low temps in Minnesota will be in the 40s, low 40s up north, upper 40s down south. Into Wisconsin and Michigan, you still have a pretty good chance for storms, maybe even severe ones returning, with low temps there, 50 to 52. But once we get past tonight into tomorrow, 30% chance for morning rain still lingering in Wisconsin and Michigan, but then should dry up in the afternoon. High temps 57 to 62. Minnesota should be mostly cloudy but dry tomorrow, getting a break from all the rain. 47 up north to 57 down south and 60 right by the lake. So quite a wide variety of temperatures. And with 3 more low pressure systems on the horizon coming our way, it's going to be fairly rainy around here. We get the break Tuesday, then it comes back on Wednesday and Thursday. Slight chance, like I mentioned, for flurries Thursday morning. Probably nothing that'll stick or be usable for snow fans, but a sign of the times, huh? Then for Friday, partly cloudy day. That'll be the nice day of the week, because rain could return as early as Saturday.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
We're learning a gas line break in the Duluth Heights neighborhood is causing several businesses to evacuate or close early this evening. According to city spokespeople, gas is spreading and crews have closed down parts of Matterhorn Drive and Maple Grove Road. Haynes Road is also shut down in both directions near the incident. According to city spokespeople, the public is not at risk. This is a developing story. Check back for updates. CBD products have skyrocketed in popularity and seem to be for sale everywhere, from grocery stores to coffee shops and gas stations.
Yeah, CBD is a compound found in marijuana, but it does not get you high. Advocates say it can help with anything from muscle aches to anxiety, but without wide federal oversight, there's no way of really knowing what's inside CBD. CBS's Barry Peterson decided to find out.
It took 2 days for senior lab assistant Joshua Kogel to test our 9 samples, checking for CBD and for THC, the ingredient in marijuana that gives a high, and also for dangerous impurities like pesticides and heavy metals.
So Mile High Labs, we test for 4 different heavy metals: mercury, arsenic, cadmium, and lead. The 4...
They all sound bad.
They are very, yes, things that you do not want in your body.
Here's what Mile High found in our samples. None had pesticides or heavy metals above federal standards. The THC levels were all within federal guidelines. But when it came to dosages advertised on the label, watch out. 4 samples were pretty much right on. 2 samples cheated you, giving only 60 to 80% of the advertised dosage. Then there were the overperformers. 1,000 milligram supply was really 1,100, 10% higher. And one was way over, 210% of what the label said.
This last sample claimed 500 milligrams in the bottle, and we measured 210% in the bottle.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah. So that's really concerning to me.
Steve Muller founded Mile High Labs in Loveland, Colorado, and is its CEO.
We believe strong regulation and acting quickly will benefit consumers and improve the industry.
He testified at FDA hearings arguing for federal regulation to ensure accuracy in labeling.
Right now, there's no one enforcing any of those things. It's sort of up to the companies to do it themselves.
That really is the Wild West. Whatever you say is what ends up on the label is what people think they're buying.
Yeah, you can see that from the results here, that it is the Wild West, and what you get on the shelf is you don't really know.
To find out if what we don't know can hurt us, we went to the emergency room at UC Health, University of Colorado Hospital.
We know that it has some medical benefits.
Where I met Dr. Andrew Monti, a toxicologist and emergency medicine physician who has treated people who ingested too much CBD.
Patients actually can become more somnolent than would be expected, right? So they can become very sleepy. Patients can also get nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea.
Experts say because there's a lack of reliable controlled trials, there's not enough detail to understand all of those interactions.
Kelly's here to talk about what's coming up in sports. Kelly.
Yep, the USCHO hockey preseason polls are in, and I bet you cannot guess who's at the top. Plus, a special For the Love of the Game is up next. I got a chance to train with former Team USA triathlete Jessica Rossi.
Huge sale on select Crestliner models in stock at RJ Sport and Cycle.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. New state-of-the-art dealership, same President's Award-winning service. KohlerToyota.com.
Honda CR-V is perfect for people from all walks of life. From the daydreamers to the night riders, and the carpoolers to the lone wolves. Let's not forget the young ones, and those young at heart. No wonder people made the CR-V the best-selling CUV in its class. Hurry to your Honda dealer during the #1 CR-V event and get a great deal today.
Range Regional Airport when I travel for work.
I fly from Hibbing because it saves me time.
The online calculator helps me plan my trip.
I love the easy check-in and fast baggage claims.
I like the free parking and car rentals.
Include Range Regional Airport next time you travel.
It's so easy, even a grown-up can do it.
When I went to Aspen Dental, they asked me, what's wrong? I go, I had rotting teeth in my mouth. My fiance hadn't seen me smile in 10 years. I have a child on the way here in the next 5 months. I would like to be able to smile in his first picture when he's born. They said we can do that. If I would have known that I was going to be 50 times happier with dentures, I would have fixed it before.
At Aspen Dental, we're all about yes. Like yes to a 90-day denture money-back guarantee. Yes, dentures start at $3.99. And yes, we can help you make picture-perfect moments. Call now or book online at aspendental.com.
Quality materials and exceptional craftsmanship make our saunas second to none. With our 100% Western red cedar construction and customizable options, we have the right one for you. Our saunas are built from start to finish, right here in northern Minnesota. Our team is ready to design your dream sauna to your exact specifications. Visit CustomLineSaunas.com for design options and ideas. Then contact our team of specialists at 218-481-2349 to start personalizing your sauna today. Custom Line Saunas, a finer finish.
America's most watched network. Tonight starting at 7, only on CBS3 Duluth. Then stay tuned for CBS3 News at 10.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Now, CBS 3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
Number one in the national polls, number one in the NCHC poll, and now number one in the one that counts most, the USCHO poll. UMD, going into its first weekend of play, will have a very large target on their backs. The Bulldogs are checking in at number one overall in the latest USCHO preseason poll, thanks to 49 out of 50 total votes. Other NCHC teams in the poll include Denver at 2, St. Cloud at 6, Western Michigan at 14, and North Dakota at 18. They'll have their first exhibition this Saturday on My 9. It was back in college that former Team USA triathlete Jessica Rosing came up with the dream of owning her own fitness studio. Well, fast forward a few years later, she's the owner of the brand new Movo Studio in the Heart District, and it's all for the love of the game. Movo Studio's slogan is "Move and be moved."
Reaching those arms up, exhale, cactus those arms, open up the chest, feel those shoulder blades come together. It's been so many motions across the board. I have sat in here every night at the end of class, even if I had to leave the studio, I'd come back and just sit in here it's real. We actually we're here and we've got this community and it just feels so good.
4, 3, 2, 1. Tap that left foot out.
After 7 years of planning, Jessica Rosing's studio that once resided in a small, intimate, one-room space around the block has moved into something much bigger.
Every day my soul overflows with gratitude. Seeing people walk in the door and their first expression of wow, look at this space. That right there keeps me going every single day.
4, 3, 2,
and 1, rest.
That feeling of gratitude she hopes to pass on to every single person.
Feel connected with that goal that you set. Let that goal help move you through this workout.
And Jessica says she likes to dream big.
3, 2, 1, downward facing dog.
How can I continue to grow our community and make this a space where people really feel loved, they feel welcome, they feel a part of this movement outside of the studio?
I forgot. She kicked my butt. Movo Studio is celebrating its grand opening this week. All week starting tomorrow, they'll be offering special classes and pop-ups. We'll have all the info on our website at CBS3Duluth.com. I think we should all go in for a class.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. Team bonding.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly.
All right, Dave, a lot going on out there in the weather world.
Yeah, let's do an update on the advisories out there. Flood advisory in effect now till 9 p.m. for parts of Aiken County and sliding into southern parts of St. Louis County, like the Floodwood area. Then that flood warning through 5:30 on Tuesday still remains in effect for Mille Lacs Lake through a portion of Douglas County. Drive cautiously tonight everywhere because more rain is possible. We'll keep tracking things here, especially tonight at 10.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight at 10.